Broadcasting live from the Yuletide ravaged bayous of Louisiana. Hey, there we go. A Festivus for the rest of us. How's everybody doing? Have you done the daily maintenance on your fusion cores today? I hope you have. But, whoa. You know, fusion cores are a myth. They're actually just a bunch of rechargeable batteries. Enough to make you sad. Anyway, I hope everybody is having well, you're here, so you're probably not having, the greatest holiday. So come hide from your, family in this safe place right here where you belong. Oh, Gundam cards. What Hasbro make Gundam? Is that the new is Gundam the new Magic the Addiction set this year? Is that where we're at? Hello, Kaiju Kitty. Merry Christmas if that's your thing. Merry Solstice if that's also your thing. If nothing's your thing, then welcome, comrade. I hope you've poured the vodka. Oh, not you too, Bandai. There you go. Feliz Navidad. I got nothing but avoiding the world on the menu for today. I've been sitting here dismantling a fusion core. Gonna try to do some things. I don't know how much I'm going to. It is very dangerous to weld batteries, and I do not have to do it. But we're going to see. This was, anyway, yeah. That's what's inside those little plastic fusion cores that you buy. It's a nice little rechargeable battery. It's a really neat little setup. And maybe I can get it working again. Upgrade it to a USB-C. We'll see what happens. That is for another night, though. What happens below camera depth is between me and Sandy Claus. Hey, Stack. No messages here, sitting on all messages. or as we get to call you now, Grandpa Haystack, congratulations. The merriest. You're the only one who probably didn't get coal in their stocking. But given the cost of heating these days, I think I'd do with some coal. Man, listen, I like the Hammond collection. got a couple of the new ones. You could see the oh yeah, it's over here. Vaginosaurus, Spinosaurus over there. You know, I've got Gigantosaurus up there. I just picked up this one on discount. This little guy too, which are kind of lame additions to the Hammond collection. They're not nearly the quality. I really want the Hammond collection T-Rex. And I looked at what, just out of curiosity, I ain't got no money to spend right now anyway. Max is broke out of the he's busted out of the game because funds are, well, I like groceries more than I like toys, as you might be able to notice. Speaking of groceries, I got my basic white bitch iced coffee here today. So yeah, doing that at 6:00. So I just got on out of curiosity and looked at what the going rate for a Hammond collection T-Rex is. Up to like $500-$600. I'm like, Jiminy Christmas. So I spent $299 on myself and got a little Blockies Defenders class and got the transparent rarest one of the bunch. So there we go. That's my Christmas for today. So yeah, Hammond collection is just they're amazing. I never thought that I would be a 50-year-old man collecting dinosaurs, but my wife is a biologist and occasionally teaches biology, so I'm sure they're going to end up in her classroom or back on eBay because I gotta sell all this shit. And peanut brittle, that's okay. Yeah, I don't have the teeth for that anymore, but well, I appreciate that, official Billy NYT. You're welcome, as all are. Lovers, haters, sinners, and forgivers. You're all welcome in the house of the Max. 'Cause here I will pass the bowl and take that tithe. Ay, ay, ay. That, YT is YouTube. Of course it is. I'm old. You got to explain shit to me. Rowdy, who I hope everybody from her channel, she just had the roundup and was a very good one. And we've got some things. I've got an opinion. Rowdy is going to remind me in a little bit to express on that about the recent news that that Playmates was giving up their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I gotta wait for Yo Frankie to get here because he knows how much I hate the turtles, and I've just gotta let him know. Anyway, no, I don't hate turtles. I like turtles. So, but anyway, I hope everybody had a good festive day, and I guess, well, no, wait, it is Festivus, so we must start with the, is it, what's the order? Is it, the airing of grievances, and then the show of strength, and, what is the order of Festivus? I'm gonna look it up. A Festivus for the rest of us. Okay. All right. Festivus. Oh, it's supposed to be celebrated on the 23rd. The unadorned aluminum Festivus pole. I absolutely have that. There's plenty of unadorned shit because I have an entire tattoo shop buried upon all of the Christmas stuff. So I don't think a single thing got hung up in my house this year. So that has been fulfilled. The airing of grievances, people telling how they've disappointed you. So feel free in chat right now. Tell me how I have disappointed you. This is just, and then we will go to the feats of strength. So we are in airing of grievances. Tell me how I have disappointed you. Um, this this year. Go on. The airing of grievances first. That is correct. I know how I've disappointed you, Kaiju. I've not bought enough LPs this year. 8 hours straight, 5 days a week. Listen, I'm pretty lucky here. You know what? No excuses. You're absolutely right, Kaiju. I seek your forgiveness. The lack of weight, I will do better, Robert. Is that why you're disappointed in me because your birthday was Festivus? Stew for lunch. Happy birthday again, Rowdy. And that also comes from the Tucker abode. What is my blood type? Well, I prefer a 69 and maybe an O positive with a RH factor. You know, just it's very sweet on the lips. I really, and I apologize for that here. I do have to apologize for that because I know I've disappointed quite a few people. It health has and IRL events have kind of taken me off of YouTube, and they might possibly be taking me off a little bit more. Um, so, and that and a lot of disappointment and just a lot of communities that I've been involved with in the last 5 years. So it um it's just kind of, yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna work on. I've actually I've thought about this that there need to be more color of fezzes. But unfortunately, Stu, and this is a disappointment I have for the world, is that outside of certain Turkish groups, religious factors, uh, um, um, and just cultural areas, the Fez hasn't quite made the comeback that I expect it to make. It's which is disappointing. I should be able to walk in and just like any truck stop, you can find a build hat. I should be able to walk in anywhere and be like, you know what? They got a sale on fezzes today, but we've not gotten there yet. I'm going to keep working on it, and yeah, rainbow. Yeah, I need something, for Pride Week, to show all my friends that at least 5 days, or 5 days out of the other 360, that I show every day is Rainbow Fez Day. If I had a Rainbow Fez, I'm pretty sure my daughter would make me wear it all the time. So um, I think it's because she can't pick a favorite color, so she just likes all of them. But yeah. It but yeah, that's what I keep saying. You can put snacks up in here. That ice cubes. You take it off and it's and it you can use it as a emergency water pitcher. To so the water that you need to get to somebody can be full of your head sweat. Fezzes have many uses. They make great when their time is gone. They make great biodegradable flower pots. Fezzes, people, fezzes. That I just like fezzes. All right. Some gazpacho. uh, and and listen, I'll air a few of my disappointments. People keep telling me, Max, where you been? Max, where you been? You know what? Half of you, I'm trying to watch my language. Fellow YouTubers, our fellow YouTubers. I'm always open for an invite. The worst I'm going to say is no. So, man, that's just good iced coffee. I'm going to be awake all night, which is good because I've been playing way too much Diablo 4 and the new season slaps. So, all right. So, we're on airing of grievances. So, this is the perfect time to bring up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Playmates. And I want you guys to prepare yourselves because you're not going to like what I have to say. I 100% believe that Playmates sit down and had a decision. Are we going to be a company that sells to adult collectors? Or are we going to be a company that makes toys for kids? Toys that kids can afford, parents can afford to get them. That, I think I 100% believe that the adult collection market is, I don't think it's going to be destroyed, but I think it's going to be changing tremendously. I think you're going to see more adult collector stuff going up in price, being more niche, where, everything, like, everybody's looking for that new Marvel Legends. I think you're going to start seeing Marvel Legends stuff that is going to be for the kids. I think you're going to, you're starting to see it with even a lot of the Mattel stuff. Hasbro, they haven't quite hit it yet, but GI Joe, you can't factor this into that because GI Joe makes money for Hasbro no matter what. So take that out. But with Star Wars and things like that, I always see when you go to the toy section, any store, you're always seeing kids section stocked. And you know what is kicking everybody's asses? Mini brands. I'm going to be talking about them here in just a minute. Blockies. $2.99 for this right here. And you know what? A kid is going to have fun with that. I'm going to have fun with it too, but it's also just going to be a tchotchke. It's going to sit up on the shelf. I'm going to look at it and be like, I got that. But I think Playmates, and this is still early in this, so this is a kind of a speculative, logistics is kind of my thing. I just really think that you've seen what the adult collector market can do, and there's a bubble. And I think Playmate, and it may not be, none of that stuff may come to pass, but I think I am envisioning this as to what Playmates is thinking. Playmates did all the fucking work. Almost everything that you see with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles today exists because of Playmates. The designs, the all the moldings, everything for every figure going back to, I mean, they destroyed Star Wars, and of course, Star Wars and G.I. Joe was on a downslide anyway, but they came in when you had, they just dominated the market 40 years ago. And they've held on to that for 40 years. Everybody should go and watch Rowdy's show at We Get Done Here. She makes some amazing points about all of this. But I think Playmates is looking at this as we're done with these fucking adult collectors, and we're going to focus on what kids want. Now, if adults will buy kid shit all day long, so that doesn't really matter. But I think, when you go down the aisle, if I was a 10-year-old and I was collecting G.I. Joe and I wanted, that whatever figure, the Ghost Viper from Walmart, and that's all I wanted for Christmas. Dear Santa, I want a Ghost Viper. I know this is, if this sounds a little personal, it's because it is. I still haven't got a Ghost Viper. But I feel incomplete, naked. Little 10, 11-year-old Timmy was like, oh, dear Santa, I've been so good this year. I raked my neighbor's yard and didn't diddle the farmer's daughter behind the barn. I've been so good. Please, all I want's a Ghost Viper. And that you ain't finding one, because adult collectors have just snatched up everyone they can find. And I would too. If I seen 4 of them sitting on the shelf today, I would buy all 4 of them. And Playmates is, I know, seeing a little of that. You see some of these turtles coming out, that Playmates turtles, that adult collectors are buying up. Kids ain't getting them. You ain't seeing, I don't know which ones they are, because as Frankie will tell you, I don't give 2 shits about turtles. My turtles are the old school turtles, and they do bad things to people. So, but I think Playmates is looking at this. One, everybody is doing they'll give a turtle license to everybody, anybody for any reason. You sell cigarette lighters? You want a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles license? Man, here you go. And Playmates did all the work. Every turtle you see today is probably based off some kind of Playmates model. Hell, even Eastman Laird both started drawing shit and doing cartoons and stuff based on what Playmates was designing. I don't think it was the other way around. Uh, it was somewhat, but it's I think that I know that somewhat of that is they're looking at these adult collectors, um, are making it harder for kids to get toys, and we need to make a decision. Do we continue down this going down the adult collector path, collectibles, or are we a company that makes toys for kids? And they're running out of licensing. You know, it's as Rowdy pointed out, you sure Saban, you sure don't see too many Power Rangers on TV right now. Um, I don't really know if you see any turtle stuff on TV right now. Um, well, yeah, I mean, that was a smart business decision. It's I wouldn't take if I was a toy producer, I wouldn't take a turtle license right now. Um, Not anything to do with plastic. Media still hasn't. I mean, there's. I don't even think there's any media. Is Nickelodeon doing anything with turtles right now? Oh yeah, Mutant Mayhem. Yeah, so they do have some media running right now, and you see those Mutant Mayhem toys on the shelf, and those are predominantly kids' toys. And if Playmates isn't making it, there is any number of people who can fill those shoes without missing a beat. There won't be empty shelves. There won't be a blank spot on that Walmart shelf for a day before somebody's got it filled. I mean, it's that is, but it was that way. You know, it's been that way for 38 years. I remember the first turtle stuff hitting the shelf. Um, I remember it because all my Star Wars and G.I. Joe stuff went from taking up an entire shelf, an entire aisle, to taking up a 2-foot space, and the rest of it was turtles. And that's not happening with any toys right now. Um, Turtles still has a big space in an aisle, and kids buy them. But adult collectors aren't looking for that Mutant Mayhem stuff. And that's okay. There's that's there's other things that will fill it, but and I still don't think anybody is going to be at a want for turtle stuff. You're just not going to get that Playmate stuff. But the point of all this is the airing of grievance is that I believe that Playmate is taking a first step and is one of the first companies who are saying enough with the adult collector market. We're going to focus on kid shit, and we'll see what happens. I don't think in 2026 that it's going to be the last company that you start seeing this from. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, people talk about Ollie's and Ross. You can't judge a toy line based on that. That is by design. That is not a failure of a toy. Well, you know what? Let me stop and go back. There are some toys that were overproduced that ended up at Ollie's and Ross that are still at Ollie's and Ross, uh, that, will probably be at Ollie's and Ross, until those stores cease to exist. The rad roaches and, rad scorpions will, be using them to build nests. But, most toys, a lot of toys that end up at Ollie's and Ross, I mean, they're buying out fire sales, stores that go out of business, they're buying pallets of stuff. That toy sold. From a corporate standpoint, if I'm Hasbro and I made, you know, I'm Mattel and I made 500 of these little lizards and all of them sold, were bought by Mattel, from Mattel, and went out the door. That's a successful toy line. Once it's kind of like you can't, Lando Calrissian is still on, available at any Walmart in any Black Series Star Wars toy shelf, and Hasbro's happy. They got their money. That was a successful toy. It sold. Walmart bought it. Hasbro does not own that anymore. Um, and if they find a warehouse full of them, Ollie's and Ross will have Lando Calrissians, and they'll be sold. So that, how we look at toy sales is, you know, I know some successful toy lines that you'll never see at Walmart, Target, or Ollie's or Ross. So, how we judge success of a toy line is, um, I think that needs broadened a bit in some of our eyes. But, that is another airing of grievance that I have. Some people, especially I see it a lot in chat that, they're like, "Well, that wasn't a good toy line. I seen it. I got it at Rosscon for $3.99." Good. That is a great deal for you, and I'm happy for you. I have down here a bag of, some Ollie's and Ross stuff that I got. Um, Actually, it's all Ollie's because my Ross sucks. Um, but, but that does not mean that it wasn't successful. That toy sold. It left Hasbro's warehouse. They got paid. They're happy with what they got paid, and they're moving on to project 2. Um, yeah, but you're going to see them. I mean, not from Playmates, but you're already seeing a lot of those, articulated turtles from a number of other lines. Hell, NECA. I mean, you know what? Let's not get into NECA. That's a whole thing all unto itself. I'm still mad that I saw a Aliens Big Chap at the store the other day and did not buy it because I just seen what it's going for now. Um, but we want, as adult collectors, we want a lot of things. I want Starcom. I want Starcom to come back. I want a new, improved Starcom. Not just what it was, a new and improved Starcom. Will it happen? Probably not. Should it happen? Maybe. is it gonna if it did happen, would it end up like that bullshit from Loyal Subjects with them redoing Mask using basically giving you exactly what came out in the 80s and charging you, ignorant prices without updating anything? I mean, I doubt it's even better. I don't even think it's better plastic. I think it's cheaper at plastic in some ways. At least some of the original Mask stuff had the honor to vac metal some stuff, not just hit it with a chrome pin. um, Hell yeah, with some action pants. Not some people. You guys need to look this up right now. Chuck Norris action pants. This is a real thing. You're welcome. Go stare at Chuck Norris. I'll wait. Google it. Chuck Norris action pants. You know, Bob, you know. Fuck Joe Rogan. Um, that little short shit couldn't kick. What does he need action pants for? That dude can't kick over his head. Anyway, but yeah, it's Chuck Norris got in with one of the karate gi companies that produced a lot of stuff, and they made what was called action pants. So you could throw a karate kick and not split your jeans. And basically, it was just, I guess it had Gerald Ford level ballroom or something in there. And action pants. Does your action man have action pants? You should check for authenticity. Anyway. Oh man, but those things predate him. I don't even want to talk about him. But it they go back to like the 60s. I tattooed with a guy who owned a dojo, and he was showing me a catalog. And I was like, because he was showing me pictures of him back in the 60s and when he was tattooing at the state fair with no gloves. And he had these really badass jeans on. And I was like, man, those jeans are something. And he was like, yeah, those are some Chuck Norris action pants. And I was like, the hell is a Chuck Norris action pants? And he showed me a big old thick catalog of karate gear. And in it was these pictures. And now, mind you, this was in early 2000. And he's showing me this brand new catalog. Now, they haven't updated this picture of Chuck Norris in these pants since the 60s, because I'm pretty sure he doesn't, but they had the same picture of these same pants, and they look exactly like they did back in the 60s. And no, that's a good find right there. I think a lot of adult collectors are going to start, and I think you see, I mean, we've always had this where you have a lot of adult collectors who are going to start going back and going in and getting collections of the vintage stuff, because there's a lot of it out there. And and you're going to start seeing a lot more of the vintage market going up, and we have in the last couple of years. It's the vintage market has exploded. Look how many, you've gone from very few toy stores to a whole lot of vintage toy stores all over the place. And there's a market for it. If there's, supply and demand, if the demand is high enough, you will find the supply, hopefully. And they made, you take Boba Fett, Star Wars Boba Fett, they made millions of those things. My mother the other day, we found a not mint inbox, but an inbox Rebel transport. We've also got a mint inbox AT-AT and a mint inbox Millennium Falcon. And I don't know, probably gonna help her sell those here pretty quick. It seems like a good time. But all right. Well, is that it? Is there anybody else has any? This is your last chance to, the airing of grievance. Tell me how I have disappointed you in the last in 2025. If not, we will be moving on to the show of strength. I'm getting my 26 inch 26 millimeter cannons over here. Listen, Chuck Norris is a prick. Buddy, the guy I knew who ran the dojo told me that and this isn't the first time, I've known quite a few production team Hollywood people who've worked with him over the years. One of them was worked on Texas Ranger, and Chuck Norris is an asshole, and not your normal Hollywood type asshole either. He's an asshole towards kids, and that I don't have any tolerance for. He went and judged a karate tournament that this guy, he brought 20 something kids, and they went to him. He went up to him afterwards and was like, "Listen, I know you're busy. And if you can't, if it's a no, it's fine. But if you can just 2 minutes of your time, just say, hey, good job, kids, and bugger off." I didn't have nothing, just even a hi, hello would have meant the world to these kids. And he looked at this my friend who ran the dojo and said, "Why the fuck would I want to do that?" And turned his back and walked out the door. Now everybody has a bad day, and if this was just a one-off story, I'd be like, well, maybe his maybe his action pants were a little small that day. Everybody has a bad day. But I have a friend who did some stuff with on Texas Ranger, and he's like, every day we dreaded the moment that dude was coming on set. Everybody else was just terrified of him because he had the magic button to make your job end, and he knew it, and everybody had to kiss his ass. So say la vie. You know what? Those people exist. But him being shitty towards kids, that just, you can do better. I mean, them kids worked really hard to get to that tournament. And but anyway, all right, show of strength. So of course, show of strength is, what my super rare transparent Optimus Prime. You know what? Here, hold on. This is why I have an overhead camera. So this is the Blockies Defender class, and I was so happy. I all I really wanted, I wasn't going to get anything, but it was $2.99, and I just could not pass it up. So, um, mainly because that was pretty much my entire budget. But what I really want to talk about, of course, we 6-inch toy collectors are always looking for as the great, never late, always amazing, the amazing. Hydrate, people. Hydrate for the amazing. It's all about the accessories. And this mini brands are some of the perfect 1/6 scale, 1/12 scale stuff. So let me get a figure here with a little Cobra Trench guy. So you've got water bottles. You've got some pepperami. He's getting his girlfriend some eggplant. How about some cooked lobster tonight? Nice bottle of strawberry syrup. And all of this stuff scales amazing with 1/12 scale figures. You run off every now and then, it runs a little cray cray, and it gets but this is the fill the fridge. Now, I specifically say fill the fridge because that one is the one that is the closest I have found to 1/12 scale accessories. Some of these other mini brands, you get bigs and smalls and everything like that. This one has been consistently 1/12 scale. Wow, everybody's super excited. Everybody bailed. Okay. Anyway, it's mostly groceries. They do have some of the, if you missed out on the pizzas. Yeah, I've got a bunch of the KFC stuff, but not all the KFC stuff that they've done scales up really well with 1/12 scale. Eggplant on the. See if I can get it here. That's that. Got a little cooked lobster. Here, let's see if I can take it back to the. Got a lobster in there. You have the eggplant, which comes in a little tray. There's 2 of them in there. You can take them out. Just a regular little bottled water. And it's kind of rubbery. I'm not sure what pepperami is. Pretty sure it's just like a little meat stick. I haven't tried to open. I don't guess you can. There's some Philadelphia cream cheese, some Hershey syrup. And those are the ones that I got. And these are all just one ball. Yeah, pizzas are always good because they and the chicken buckets that they did from the KFC. I've got a bunch of the mini brand stuff, and the mini brand stuff has been really good. Uh, but it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get some that are, the small ones, and I think what it is they this fill the fridge, and they actually have a 1/12 scale refrigerator. That it's a little it's out of my budget at this time. Um, but I can't talk about that. It's supposed to be showing strength. Um, lift my fez up in the air for 5 seconds. Was that 5 seconds? What else? Poodles love pizza. So do New York New York sewer rats. But I got I did get a bazooka. And a Raider battalion. So I got a couple little Christmas things, but Hasbro got me so good this year that I don't think I have to worry about. My brother-in-law sent a copy of Over the Garden Wall, which I am delighted to have because that jackass who is selling off Warner Brothers and Zaslav, that piece of shit, pretty much I think pulled Over the Garden Wall completely off. So didn't get to watch it this Halloween. So that is a wonderful show of strength. Oh man. God, listen, I don't like onions. I don't like onions because they make me cry. But for some reason, rehydrated onions don't bother me. And White Castle, oh my God. Listen, people say what they want. It's a steamed burger. It's steamed hams. There's nothing more Christmassy than steamed ham, but steamed beef. But White Castle, I will eat those onions all day long on one of their sliders. Just this is what you do. If you've never been to a White Castle and you have the opportunity, go in and get 10 sliders. You're like, 10 sliders? Max, I can't eat 10 sliders. You eat 10 sliders because you're a fat boy. No. Listen, get 10 sliders with hot sauce. Go easy on the fries if you need to cut back a little bit, but do not order less than 10 sliders. And then consume. Oh. Your body will hate you later. And the next morning, when you're sitting on that toilet, you will be mad at me. But in that moment, when that first slider just goes down that gullet, you will taste the ambrosia of the gods. And it just, see, my family lived a lot of my family lived in Wichita, Kansas, which I believe is the original home of White Castle. If I may be mistaken, but I believe it started in Wichita, Kansas. And I haven't had a White Castle since the last time I was in Wichita, Kansas. They're getting few and far between, but man, they just mm. See, I haven't watched any of Stranger Things this season. The finale, I have not none of it. I haven't had Netflix in a couple years. I haven't been missing it. I stick to Apple TV and and Prime. And so I've been digging Fallout, The Mighty Nine, and Pluribus, which I mean, I'll watch anything. Gilliam, the guy from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. This is his new show, Pluribus. But Apple TV is really, man. It's. I will tell you, it's not for everybody. You've got to be. You really got to like some thinking man's science fiction to really like the science fiction on Apple TV. But it is really some of the best science fiction. Um, See, you can't go wrong with that. Not at all. I got the box set over there. At see what did we watch? Found a copy of Steam Boy, and with the one with the Patrick Stewart dub, director's cut. We watched Steam Boy the other day. My wife and kid hadn't ever seen it. I always watch it because I don't care about watching subtitles or watching something in Japanese. Um, sometimes, sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just want to watch the damn show. I don't want to read a book. Just give me the dub. Just depends on the dub. That I need to reapply, start doing some voiceover work on again. At I used to have a friend who worked at Crunchyroll, and I got offered a job to do some voiceover, read script, and I need to see if that offer still exists. But now, if all this crap goes through with HBO and Netflix gets control of it, and they bring back a lot of the shows uh, that from the animators that were deleted, and you know, and get everything the way it should be with that, I will probably go back to having a Netflix account. Um, we'll see. I don't know. It Netflix, well, shit. We got to see if the deal even goes through. So that what a world! What a world! Mm. Oh man, I am gonna regret this iced coffee when I'm still playing Diablo 4 this at 4 o'clock this morning. Um, what other feats of strength have I got? Let's see. It is I've gone 48 hours without a seizure, so that would be interesting. I mean, the anime that's out there now is kind of a classic, but doing a remake, especially with Netflix in control of it, I don't know how I'd feel about that. They I I might say something that's a little unpopular right here. I didn't totally hate the live action Cowboy Bebop. Didn't totally hate it. Um, I was kind of excited to see where they would go with it. I've read the manga. I've watched the anime so many times I can um quote every episode. Um the soundtrack is the soundtrack of my life. It's called Cowboy Boom Boom now. um I thought the live action was it the only thing I didn't like about it was um that they didn't bring in Ed sooner. Um and them cutting it off. I still really wish that they would just kind of see where it would go. Um I think it had some opportunities. But we'll see. Oh, let's see. So anybody got any feats of strength they want to brag about? Yeah. I don't know. At 48 hours seems to you just watch it, don't say anything, and learn how to act surprised. It I for a long time I would be like, okay, let's start this show. Me and my wife would watch something. And then she'd figure out, that she'd rather go play in her craft room or, you know, do something. And um I'd be waiting months to get to the next episode. Finally, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch what I want. And if it's good enough, I'll uh um rewatch it with you. And we'll just go that route because waiting is just I'm that's one thing that really drives me nuts about Amazon and Apple TV is they think that they just you've got the episodes, put them out. Just put them out. That's one thing about Netflix that I like, with the exception of a few things like whatever they're doing to drag out Stranger Things. Um, Most of the time there's no weekly episodes. They just you want to watch it, here's all the episodes, enjoy yourself. And by the time some people are on their second, you're on episode, you're rewatching it for the third time. Um, it just I just put out all the friggin' episodes. I'm a grown man. I want to binge watch it. I don't want to wait till next week. Just do it. Do it. Ay, that just yeah. Don't want to wait. Just put out the damn episode. I don't understand. And it's not like they do advertising. I mean, Amazon, of course, will try to get you for an extra $2 a fucking month, but to cut out ads that you weren't supposed to be getting to begin with. But like Apple TV, none of these stations run ads. Why do they need a weekly show? Why do we need to keep going back to the way things were? The way things were kind of sucked. Tune in next week and see what happens to your favorite hero while we sell ad space around commercials for all the previews. That just put the shit out there. Film it, put it out there. Instead of having to worry about programming and all the code that goes with releasing things on a certain time, you can be worrying about getting the next batch of episodes filmed. Yeah, binge watching so much better. I want my dopamine and serotonin right meow. Not next week. Want it right now. I want my ghost viper. That's all I wanted. I was a good boy. I didn't throw Timmy down a well or nothing that anybody can prove. But, Hey, little assistant, gonna show off your artwork? Bring it here. All right, I'm gonna show off. My kid did some really badass stuff for. I'm gonna show off my kid's art. Where's your artwork, Max? Don't you worry about where my artwork is. I'm showing off my kid's stuff. So she's been doing lithograph, right? Linoleum. Yeah. Oh, wait. No, this isn't linoleum. This is you did an etching. Yeah. That's it's all right. So we got this one. This is linoleum called the Idol. This one, everybody's gonna love this. Isn't that awesome? Uh, Chest burster. Oh, it's fantastic. This is some of her personal characters. Rosemary. This is just her carving in the linoleum. Oh, and then this one is one of my favorites. Let me get my head out. It's not about me. So this one's Prison Gate. Oh, is that not stupendous? I don't even, I mean, it's good enough that my mother doesn't understand any of it. So that's how good this artwork. So, and then she did some etching, and this one's called Miss You. So that's some of my daughter's artwork. So did I ever see the TV version of Babes in Toyland with Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore? I did. Thank you, Stu. I thought it was very impressive myself. That she did a good job. She spent all day up there at the college getting all those mats cut. So she my little art major. She's got another one, but I'm not gonna walk across the room and get it. But yeah, she does some really nice stuff. She's got a comic book, but she won't let me read it. So we'll glad somebody's doing something. I finally got my piece mounted up to start. It's only taken me a few months, but I finally figured out exactly how I'm going to paint it and how I want to do it. It's a recreation of a back piece that I tattooed and doing it on paper, but I didn't want to just, throw it down and do like an illustrative, recreation of exactly what I did on this guy's back. I wanted to do something kind of different, and it's taken me a little while to get the headspace right on how I want to do it, but I think I finally got it. So I'm going to be getting some progress made on that, and maybe, just maybe, I think I've got my camera angle right where I can slide it over. There we go. And everybody can, maybe be able to do some painting live on the air. Just get on at random times and figure out what to do. Watched a movie called Santa Jaws on Tuesday. It's about a killer Xmas themed shark on a murderous rampage. Dear gods, tell me where you saw that. Because is that on like Shutter or one of those horror channels? Or please tell me it's on Prime. Because if it's on Prime, that's on my agenda for tonight. I haven't heard of Roof Man. I don't dislike Channing Tatum's pretty. I like his acting. Um, he's he does some fun stuff and he does some serious. So I'm we'll if you're gonna recommend a movie, make sure that you say where you watched it at. Was it on Prime? Was it on HBO? I'm waiting for the release of All You Need Is Kill. I know they keep saying that it's going to be in theaters, but I am seriously hoping that that hits Prime, whatever network that it comes on. But I'll be buying a 4K release of that one. Um, All You Need Is Kill is probably one of my favorite mangas next to Gantz and Blom. Blom is probably, if I had, I don't really have a top 5 in manga, but amongst them would be Balam, All You Need Is Kill, Gantz. Um, those are three must reads. Battle Angel Alita. And let's see, what else? I mean, Berserk is, I don't know. Berserk wasn't ever really kind of my bag. It was good. The artwork was amazing. The author, and the artist, you know, um, rest in power. Um, Amazing, but it was a whole lot of story for me. Um, and just go with those four. I mean, well, um, Macross, but for me, Robotech, stuff like that. But that was, it's hard to say that as manga because getting that in manga form was always weird. You had the Americanized comics. Yeah, anyway. Um, yeah, you had me at big boob redhead. That's good to go. Santa Jaws on Amazon Prime. Little assistant, we got us a movie tonight. Santa Jaws. Yeah, approved. Hold on, did I miss something in chat? Oh, I'm caught up. All right. And I don't know. Christmas movies are, I mean, we watched Die Hard last night, so that was because he got a big thing. Kind of like, how does uh Colin I played Bullseye in that Daredevil movie. Um God, what it's what is his name? Colin something. Anyway, um not Colin Daryl. Um Colin Farrell. Is that it? I don't know. Anyway, he's rumor has it that he was gifted by the gods with an amazing penis and likes to share the wealth. So, um, and Angelina Jolie seemed to like Billy Bob quite a bit. So, you know, if you got a guy, if you anyway, we're going down a road I don't want to go. Anyway, um who knows why things happen in Hollywood, but things do. He has a lovely Irish accent. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's got to be it. It's just Do it. Do it. Weak need sissy if you don't. That's entertainment. You know, got to do it for the film. As it goes, the difference between certain adult genre movies and regular movies is distribution. So I've heard. Oh, why do we keep getting? Are we so? I've noticed a trend with a lot of um YouTubers lately that eventually all we get talking about is movies because we've just got nothing else to say. And maybe that's why I quit watching almost 90% of the toy tubers out there. And I just is anybody else feeling this? That all toy tubers are just kind of spouting. I don't want honest answers here. And I'm not picking on anybody. This is not an attack on anybody at all. And I mean that. Scout's honor. Have you just kind of noticed though that all toy tubers here lately, just all of them sound the same? They're just all spouting the same stuff. Not all of them. Rowdy, present company excluded. Everybody needs to immediately go and sub to Rowdy. Let's get her to 4K. And I mean that. But I am a robot. But like I've noticed that when, and it's a trend I've been noticing, especially over 2025, that see, we're back to airing of grievances. It's easier to destroy than it is to create, people. I've noticed that like you'll get some small time toy tuber will discuss something, have some good idea, good layout, good platform for a show, and then all of a sudden 10 other channels are saying the exact same thing. Now, is it, I don't want to say plagiarism because, plagiarism is only, originality is only undiscovered plagiarism. But is it just that there's so few ideas to talk about right now in the toy tuber world? Or is it that somebody sees something that somebody's doing and it's successful or it's a good idea and they've immediately got to jump on and get their, thoughts in on that? And I mean, honestly, I owe tonight. Y'all ought to thank Michael French for tonight's episode because I absolutely was not going to go on, and I had such a fun time. He did a live show today between him and Rowdy's show. I was like, you know what? I need to get in on. See, this is what I'm talking about. I saw two people that I enjoy doing something successfully and having a good time with it. And I was like, I need to get some of that. I want to get on tonight and do exactly what they did and see if it works for me. And looking at my viewership, I'm going to say it's not doing that much. It maybe I need to talk about Kylie Minaj a little bit more because I'm down. That girl got it. I had no idea who, and I want to, you know what? Wait, did somebody, wait, hold on. What? Did somebody say Leah Glacia? Now the show can fucking begin. Let's do this thing. Hi, Leah. Glad to have you. Oh my God, see, I start talking some shit and everybody shows up. Hi, Cooter. Good to have you. I had no idea. I love Michael French. I know he's, everybody has their favorite type of apple. And, Michael is my honey crisp. So, and honey crisps aren't for everybody. You might like a Red Delicious. And that's fine. Everybody's got their own taste. And, and he likes, some things, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But that's, see, Rowdy likes gala apples. They, you know what? Gala apples are good, but they don't make a good apple pie. You need a good honey crisp for that. I don't know. Actually, you may need a gala apple for that. I'm not allowed to cook apple pies. That is my wife's thing. So, because I screw it up and she won't eat it. So, I just cook bread. But anyway, I had no idea who Kylie Minaj was until like I just kept hearing he goes on about her and on about her, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I need to obviously educate myself. And I love Kylie Minaj. She sings good and looks good while she does it. True story. Anyway, but oh yeah, we were talking shit about something. Oh yeah, just everything. All YouTubers here lately are starting to sound exactly alike, and I don't know if it's just because it's slow news season or whatever, but everybody's just got the same thing to say, and it's boring. I don't, and I also there, and I'm struggling to really get back into any community online because every time I do, eventually it's going to lead to somebody spouting off something stupid and disappointing me. And then I'm just going to get mad and leave. So, but, yeah, sounds good. And, unless your name is Talker Fart, and then you can just go fuck yourself. But, and anybody, and I mean anybody, I need to answer a question somebody asked me, and I've commented a little bit on this. Woody222 had a great video on this. Everybody should go and watch it about all this race stuff, getting into the toy tuber. Woody, it's always been here. It's always been here. And stalker farts. I like it. It's always been here. and they just put it off on, oh, well, chat's going to go the direction chat's going to go. I'm not saying these things. And, you know, so I got questioned as to why I deleted somebody who, I had a pretty good relationship with. And I'm just like, you know what? I went nuclear. I went on this person's Instagram page and looked at their followers and anybody that we had a mutual relationship with, you got deleted. And periodically I change it, or I check it again to make sure that it stays that way. Because if you consider that person a friend, then you're not mine. So, but I've kind of taken a little deep breath on that. Because there's some people who they don't know anything about that. They're on YouTube looking to relax and kick their shoes off. And they don't know anything about the drama. They don't know anything about the hate and the racist bullshit and stuff like that. And that's not their POV. So I've just kind of letting things slide and see, not slide, because there's a difference between being ignorant of the situation, and ignorance doesn't mean stupidity. It just means you just don't know. And be an active participant. So I don't know how soon or if I will be adding anybody back. But if you do feel like you've been deleted from my Instagram or Facebook, which are not real life, I remind you, in error, add me back. And or send me a DM and we'll go about it from there. So I've had a few who have. Things have worked out. And if you prefer not to, you don't care that much, then it didn't matter anyway. So, but the bullshit on YouTube, it definitely needs to come to an end. Rowdy did a fantastic video touching on it, and definitely worth a watch, especially since she was one of the main ones affected by this shit. I don't want to get all back into it unless she does, and in that case, I totally will, because I'll drop names. I don't give a shit. But and some of the other people, and on my own case, there have been a few other people who have, while they'll sit there and sit at the table of the same people that they told me were liars, and then make me out to be the bad guy, then those people can stay gone. That's a situation I'm not ready to bring up yet, but it's coming to a head here pretty quick because I'm getting tired of watching it. But anyway. Yeah, but it's some of it's not a dead horse, Stu. It's some of it is um some of it is just some people aren't getting it. And it's some people are actively, if you know, it's if you've got someone who is being held hostage and is actively in danger, and you choose that time to attack that person, um, then it's I don't know. I'm probably not saying this right, so um well, it's one point that's it's one thing if you're a news channel, then I understand that if you come at it from a journalistic aspect. Um, YouTube doesn't care. The algorithm loves that stuff. And it's easy. That's this is my standpoint on it is it's content no matter what it is. Um, Taking somebody from the frying pan and putting them right into the fire. That's yeah, kicking them while they're down. It's it's yeah, that's a yeah, I'll go with that. Um, it's a little more complex, but that's a good, nice. Well, it's a good way to keep it just nice and simple. Um, it, but going back, just kind of over the 2025, it's destroying something is easy. Creating something is hard. And I've seen a lot more YouTube channels who just, and again, I'm not picking on anybody in particular because all of us have done this. All of us. Every single person. I'm probably doing it right now. It it's really easy to burn something. Not worry about the consequences, just, because the consequences are just going to be people talking about you. It's I for years I used to when I had my tattoo shop, somebody would leave a 1-star review. He kicked me out of my shop because I brought my kid in. And I would just be like, dear God, you poor thing. How awful it is that, nobody put up a sign that says no fucking kids, in 2 foot tall letters on my front fucking door. Um, the tragedy that you've won through. I used to love my 1-star reviews. They're still up. You go up to my Nakatosh Studio page. There's still a shit ton of 1-star reviews on there. Every one of them. Mm, mm, mm. Delicious. Um, but oh god, I miss those. Oh, I miss tattooing for a living. But it were you uh, now I'm sad. But a lot of YouTube channels have just they don't have shit to talk about. And so they just gotta be shitty. And it's easy. And it's, and chat loves it. Chat loves it. Oh, there's gonna be we're gonna talk about drama. Oh, oh, not in my house. It's somebody else's house. I love watching that. Let me just peek through the window. And people who spend a lot of time um creating something or just those are the ones with 500,000 views. And you're just happy with 700 people watch my video. Who gives a shit? You know, we think that some of these channels are fucking important, and we worry about I don't know. I'm probably getting tired. I probably need to call tonight because I'm just bitching about shit now. But I'm really hoping for the coming year that I'm not. And again, some people are all like, "Oh, Max is becoming the positivity police." You know, maybe we all should be. I'm not saying that everything's got to be happy news. I'm a Gen Xer. We're never happy. But everything's just so. I think we need to worry about some of the channels that really matter and not just the ones that are just here right now. I've really found a lot of happiness in cutting out a lot of the channels that I've watched over the last 5 years and really getting to some of the channels that like The Amazing. And so some of the channels that really are more established that they don't have time to read their chat because 700 people a minute are posted on it. So chat doesn't control what they're doing. They're doing it because they have a vision of what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, because they've spent more than 5 minutes thinking about what they're doing. Instead of just, I'm just going to, I'm going to fuck off all week, do nothing. And 5 minutes before my show, I'm going to go on and make other people who've worked their ass off, get me attention. So that, 0 stars. There should be a thing, 0 stars. You get zeros because you don't speak Spanish. Did you work it in a step? Never mind. It's always something, Robert. Your last name is Diaz and you don't speak Spanish? Come on, man. Do better. Oh my. My image of you, Robert, is shattered. I just don't know what's real anymore. My last name's Tucker. I make my bed. I don't know. I'm hoping for better things this coming year with YouTube, and it's going to be harder. I'm telling you that this is something that, with all the slop, and let me tell you, YouTube wants that slop on their shit. They want it. That stuff makes them money, and they don't have to deal with whiny little shits like us. Oh, your channel's not getting views, and you've got to take to Twitter to gripe about it. and get a hold of us. You got a copyright strike and nobody's there to explain what happened. No, we don't have to deal with that shit. If it just AI it, and then we don't have to listen to it. AI doesn't bitch to YouTube. And that's what we've got to compete with as YouTubers. If you're going to be on this platform, the way things were, if you were a COVID tuber who got on in 2019, as a way to cope with not being able to go outside. Even if you're somebody who's been on this platform for, 15, 20 years from day one, you're going to start having a harder time with things being a creator. And YouTube is not going to be rewarding, I believe they'll always reward consistency, but you're going to start seeing that less and less. The current CEO, that guy he thinks AI is the future. I'm going to be able to type in, get on, bitch about toys for 2 hours and answer chat. And you're going to get some little cartoon me with a fez doing a damn show and getting 10,000 views in the first hour. Whereas I could spend a week, which tonight and today and was definitely not one of those times, where I can spend a week prepping for an episode and 50 people have seen it. Which, I don't do this for the views. Maybe I should. Like and subscribe, people. Yeah. And YouTube loves it. YouTube is making bank from that shit. When the AI bubble pops and people realize that we have put our entire nation's economy based on AI, and that bubble pops and they realize how useless that shit is. It is going to be a sight to see. Maybe I'll just start offering voiceover, but you don't need to anymore. They don't. Listen. In a world. I don't know. We'll see. I am fighting the AI bullshit as much as I can, but and it ain't ever going to be on this channel. That ain't any artwork, anything you see. It's going to be real live people made it. And if it sucks, that's okay. It's just, I had somebody tell me years ago, and it was mostly a hate comment, that they were like, your artwork sucks. And I'm like, well, but it's still my artwork. And it got a reaction out of you. So thank you. You didn't ignore it. You looked at it long enough to form an opinion. And that's really what I want with this channel. Other than the fact that this is just more content that they'll use to generate my AI personality after I'm dead. Uh, so in a world where AI Max is on a mission to destroy AI Nazis, nothing can stop him. All he needs is 2 mini brands and a G.I. Joe classified. Yeah, I'd probably watch that movie too. Fuck. I'll tell you something that not all AI is I don't like anything that steals from somebody else. If you stole my work to generate some AI, you owe me money. That's it. It's just about money. I just want paid. You want to use my artwork all day long? Fucking use it. Pay me. Pay me immediately. As soon as this video's over, all of you should go watch Harlan Ellison Pay the Writer. That right there. It's pay me. Who are you? Multi-billion-dollar company. And you can't pay me? Pay me. I want my 12 shekels. Um, oh, you. Um, I've caught myself watching a couple of AI creators who are doing a few Star Wars things. And I get maybe just chalk it up to know thy enemy. But I seen one the other day that was like just some scenes that should have been in Star Wars but weren't, like Boba Fett telling Vader that I've discovered the name of the rebel Skywalker, and things like that. But even that is from a Dark Horse comic. So maybe they're just uploading some Dark Horse content and then, putting AI rendering it out as live action. So but see, herein lies the problem. The minute you do that, all that data is going to those companies. There's no way to contain it. If I use generative AI to come out with a composition layout for a piece of art I'm working on, and I can't figure it out, I just, the minute I do that, the minute I upload my artwork and say, come out with a way for this to all work together, that information is going to those companies. And now it's theirs. Nobody reads those TOS contracts that you sign. You know, but I guarantee you, every one of them says, if you upload a little picture that you drew, it's now our little picture. And we can do with, you remember all that shit your parents used to post on Facebook about how Meta does not have permission to use my likeness or my photos. This is private property. Bullshit. You're on Facebook. It's all Facebook's. You posted a picture on Instagram. It's not your picture anymore. That's Instagram's picture. They can you can sign every privacy notice about how it doesn't get out. But you know who you will never be private from? Meta. The Zuck has got all your shit. This was something else that kind of come up here recently too. That as an artist, as a creator, that I've had some dealing with. Somebody got upset that I made a whole show about how this company was stealing from the hard work of a small time creator. I believe it's Stan Solo. And it was a good episode, and it made some fantastic. Analog Toys, Tony Roberts, the Desert Rat himself, my favorite little guy. It was a great episode. He made some fantastic points that Hasbro just straight stole some ideas from Stan Solo. But here's the thing. Hasbro has that license. And I don't know how Stan Solo works, but I don't believe he's an officially licensed LucasArts. So anything Stan Solo does, he doesn't own. You can't own somebody else's IP. If I create a unique Crimson Viper, there we go. If I create a unique Crimson Viper and nobody else has seen this design, wholly unique, and everybody knows I made it, and Hasbro decides to make that, they don't owe me anything. I've done some design work for a few people. And even before it was under contract, I still didn't own that IP. They were good people, and they were like, you did this, Max. We want to make sure, if this comes out, this has been like 10 years ago. So I'm sure even the indie, nothing ever came from it. So, they were good people, and they were like, this is cool. We'll, if we produce this, we'll make sure that you get some creator acknowledgement on it. And here's some money. They bought the design off of me. They didn't have to do that. It was really honorable if they did, and respect to them. They're still an NDA, so I can't, say name wise, but not even though we'll see. I'll ask them. Maybe I can tell you that full story sometime. But I've done that work for a couple companies, and the best time is when they come to you just outright and say, "Hey, design this for us," which, I did every day for almost 30 years. Um, it's the way I always started my design work was with a conversation. What do you want? What do you expect from it? And come out and do design work. Um, with tattooing and I wasn't just a tattoo artist. I was to a lot of people, but that I wasn't just a tattoo artist. Um, but if Stan Solo, and I like Stan Solo figures. Um, I like that he has produced a lot of stuff that Kenner never made, and he did a fantastic job. I've got one of his figures sits on my desk and will sit on every desk I own from here on out. Um, because Tony Roberts is, you know, awesome. Go Desert Rat. Uh, but like I remember back in the early days of God, you had Deviant Art, and if it wasn't just some stupid rendition or something like that, but I've seen a lot of creators over the years who would draw a homage to something and then watch their artwork go into production with no thanks, no recompense, no acknowledgement, no creator, they just straight took it. And it they couldn't be really you can be upset about it, but you can't be so upset that you can do something about it because you don't have a leg to stand on. Um, it's not your IP. If you're creating stuff, and again, I don't know the whole Stan Solo situation. Stan Solo may have all the licensed stuff through, LucasArts and all this. And if he's getting stolen from at that point, then that is, there's things that can be done. But if you're just average Joe and you create something and you don't have all your copyrights and trademarks and everything else in there, you don't hold a license from the company who, say I want to be I want to, I produce an awesome idea for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, enough that Playmates is like, God damn, we're back. They go and take it. I can't say shit. I can bitch about it. I can talk about it all I want. Maybe some people believe me. Maybe some people take my side, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to get any kind of pay. Um, yeah, I don't know about that. um, I've been an artist for a long time, and design work and original concepts and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you, there's not a lot of original concepts that you're going to come up with. Um, there are companies who existed at one time. I know of 3 that existed in the early 2000s whose whole job was to come up with IPs and get trademark and everything else done, and then throw them in a box to use on a rainy day if they need it. Or if somebody else come up with that idea, they would come up and say, We had that idea first, and I mean, shit, I wrote almost the entire first season of Star Trek Voyager in a typing class. Um, it wasn't a, it people come up with the same ideas all the time. And sometimes it's innocently done, and sometimes it's you had a think tank coming up with ideas, and you find out real quick who owns it when you come up with an original idea and you try to trademark it. But I don't know. I don't know where I was going with all this, but I know that a lot of it. There's a lot of people who get really upset that some of these big corporations are taking some of these ideas that somebody else had, and sometimes they do it outright. Like I've noticed that, like the little competition between Valaverse and the classified people. We as consumers are like, okay, we're getting better toys from both sides. Keep it up. Um, they'll take a little something off of one, and then the other one will take a little something, and that's been going on for as long as there's been toys. Um, I don't know. 2026 is going to be an interesting year. So we're going to see what happens with a lot of it. But yeah, if you design something, but and that's the real heartache of it. If and again, I want to stress, I don't know Stan Solo's whole situation. There are not those that known him and a lot better, and I support Stan Solo. You should absolutely buy some of his toys. They're really fantastic. Um, but if you put in all that hard work just to see your I there's a split personality when it comes as a creator. Say I did a man figure. Put in the work, the money, got the molds, created a man, uh put it out there. Everybody loved it. Top raving reviews, the Max Tucker a man. Oh my God, where can I get more? I wanted to order two, but they were sold out. Is he going to do a second run? And then all of a sudden, Hasbro Vintage comes out with their man, and it is a duplicate of what I just created. Now, when I produced this man, I had nothing through LucasArts, Lucasfilm, Disney, any of these companies. I just wanted as an art piece or whatever, small production run, um, a third party. It those in the Transformer circles definitely know about third party. You have a great night and a happy holiday, Rowdy. Happy birthday again. Um, if you started seeing like Transformers is a good way to go with this. If you seen some of the third party Transformers and some of those designs coming over into mainline, which are you going to buy? if you saw a well, I was watching Jobby the other day. He's the Optimus Prime, there's one that he really likes. It's like he was like, this is the top Optimus Prime. There's no better Optimus Prime animated. It's God, he shows it off every week. Anyway, if you saw that exact same figure, not third party, come out as a main line, which are you going to buy? You going to still support the third party unlicensed, or are you going to go with the company who the mainline company? I'm willing to bet. Now, there's some people who just collect third party stuff, and respect. I like some third party stuff, and I've been pretty loyal to it. But if I started seeing third party quality and third party engineering in mainline, I'm probably going to buy the mainline. Third party, you've got no guarantee most of the time. When that shit breaks, or, they didn't have the plastic certainty, or, their factory was somebody's shed behind a ramen factory in Vietnam. There's no guarantee. When it's mainline, you got Takara Tomy, who cares about their reputation. You're going to buy that. Now, none of this is happening. This is all speculative. But I'm curious as what you let me know, chat, if you started seeing some of the quality and engineering of some of the third party figures as a mainline figure, would you still seek out third party? If you started seeing the Stan Solo stuff done, now admittedly, just like on the Analog Toys video, again, you should watch that video. The Stan Solo stuff just stands on its own. Looks fantastic. The Hasbro stuff looks like dookie. But if you started seeing quality that Stan Solo was doing, or better, coming from the main line, I've always maintained that there'd be no reason for third party to exist if mainline just did what they should be doing. And most third party creators kind of apparently feel the same way, because they're still making third party shit. Oh, my watch says it's time for bed. But I don't know. Leave a comment in the, if you've watched this far. I will always, myself personally, I will always have kind of a support of the pirate. The name Band-Aid doesn't refer to all Band-Aids. Band-Aid is a brand. But if you have a Band-Aid, that's a Band-Aid. It's like Jell-O. Just refers to one brand. It's gelatin, but you still call it Jell-O. Go get a Jell-O packet. Well, it just says gelatin, Grandma. That's Jello. That's how. Yeah. Um, Peanut butter oatmeal. Oh man, peanut. Oh, get me talking about food. There's some butter noodles over there waiting on me. I'm about to start eating. Um, I I don't know, Kaiju Kitty. You're definitely one to ask on this. It If mainline was producing what third party is doing, would you still be buying third party? As we await his answer. I've still always kind of liked the Pirates. Uh, I think a lot of companies. No, that wouldn't be the case. That's where this speculation um is. You've got third party quality and engineering, but coming from mainline. I was using Transformers as a um topic, but we could also say like with I'm bringing up Stan Solo and his unproduced Kenner lines and stuff like that, and if Hasbro started making that quality or better, but with the Hasbro or the Takara Tomy name or the mainline name backing it, they'll always, would you buy the mainline over the third party? Yeah, but third party QC is sometimes questionable too. And if you get a breakage, you don't always get some of those third parties that you know are apt to. I mean, of course, nowadays it's not like the old we care at Kenner, and you call and they send you, your Millennium Falcon broke day one. They send you a whole new. They send you the parts, or or the way Hasbro used to be, um, where your HasLab broke, and they don't just send you you know, a dreadnought. um, it's or a Cobra Trooper to make up for it. Um, I don't know. Mm, hold on, I gotta check on something real quick. Oh, um, I mean, honestly, quality control is something that is hard nowadays to be trusted across the board. Um, that I don't disagree with. I Yeah, it's I've almost said that some of these third party companies are. Well, I remember when the Unicron HasLab hit. The reason I didn't back it is because it looked like shit. All the parts forming and everything like that, and stacking up all the shit, and it was bad. And then you had the um God, I can't remember the name of the company, but they had the Perfect Organism, version come out, and it had really solid engineering. Um, yeah, exactly. Um, and the engineering was there, and it's just like, Hasbro, why you couldn't do this? But but here's the going back and coming full circle. If Hasbro had taken that idea and made it their own and produced it with no thank you to the third party designer or anything, what could the third party, as a independent creator, what can you do about it? I remember they were shipping it out with the head separate, and yeah, it was $300 less. Mm. Nah. Um, Hold on. Are we getting breaking news? Ugh, that's horrible, Rowdy. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It was one of the reasons I was just like, "Holy shit." I wanted it. I mean, I've wanted a Unicron. I've got the Blockies head, which I cannot, if Blockies comes out with the rest of this figure, I am down 100%. I don't need it to transform. Sell it. Give me the robot form. Give me the planet. Two separate non-transformings. I'll buy them both, Blockies. Make that shit happen. Um, Orson Welles was my man. But but my point is, Kaiju Kitty, that we were talking about from the get-go, is if you make a bootleg and I take that design and start selling it as a mainline, do I owe you anything? Um, am I a shithead for doing it? Probably. But I don't owe you shit. I could have got that bootleg, the Parasite, the first run for $250 on pre-order. And I'm still kicking myself in the ass for not doing it. I almost bought the HasLab. I almost paid $1,500 for that HasLab Unicron when I still collected the Transformers. I asked my wife, she said, do it. And I sit there and had my finger on that buy it now button, and I was just like, no, I can't do it. Cannot do it. I just genuinely hate that figure. It's not, you know what, I don't hate because it's Unicron. Um, it made me sad, the laziness of the engineering of that figure. Just really. How you doing? Why keep the box? That is a great name. I too am a open box collector most of the time, unless it's too expensive for me to open. one of the reasons why I sold off my Transformers collection. There were certain figures that just were so fucking expensive that I wanted to break them out of the box. I couldn't do it. Frank, how you doing, sir? That I like being an open box collector. I really do. It most of the time I will keep like some of the inserts from inside the box, but the box has got to go. Unless resale value on that figure is just like I've got more than a few figures with my GI Joe collection. I anytime they do a vehicle, I always order 2. Fact is, if anybody needs a extra vehicle, hit me up. I may have a couple for sale here pretty quick. I like being able to open the boxes, and I've got. See my snake armor. I don't know. I know a few people. I had a large amount, like my Transformers collection, that were just so stupidly expensive that I couldn't open that box. I mean, I don't buy for resale, unless I'm buying for resale. But even I'm somebody who you've got to figure that is like the Phantom Strike, the Cybertronian version of Skywarp. I got one. What I think it sold for like $35, $40. And then 2 weeks later, it was selling for almost 500. Oh, yeah. SH Figuarts. That's another one. I've seen some of those that just, I would want to take them out of the box, and they're so damn high. If I open one of them boxes 5 minutes later, it'd be a knock at the door. Somebody just slapped me. But I've got a few that I will open and keep the box. But most of the time, I just toss the box. I did that. All my Transformers, I kept every box. All the war, I had a complete, with the exception of Unicron, who we were just talking about, War for Cybertron collection. And I had an open box, but I still kept the box. And when I went and sold them to Dallas Vintage Toys, they told me it was an open box, and that's what it's priced as. So it doesn't matter if you keep that box or not. That's still a loose but complete figure. So why keep the box? So yeah, so again, great name, sir. That I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's the last thing I've got that I haven't opened. I didn't open my some of the ones that I haven't opened right now aren't because I want to keep in the box. Like I've got the Grim Viper, and I haven't opened them yet. And it doesn't really have anything to do with um, wanting to keep him in the box, other than I just don't have a place to really stick him. I'm kind of running out of room. Okay. Here, y'all want to see? Oh, if I can, no, wrong way. So the case is getting kind of full. I've got it going. There you go. So I got all this, and I'm kind of out of room in my showcase. So it's and there's only one, and I this showcase is called a Waddell. It's an old jewelry store brand from the 50s. They're stupid expensive. And between my mother and me, we have a pretty large collection of that brand showcase. But I don't have any more here. So I'm kind of out of room, which is a problem I had with my Transformers. I didn't have any other place to stick them, so I just left them in the box. And I don't want to be in that situation with GI Joes. I really like having them out now in the showcase and pulling them out and display. And thank you, Frank. It needs spread out. It's getting too packed together. But it works for me. I could just kind of look over and see where all my money's gone. Realizing one phone call I could have all that money back, and it's getting kind of tempting. But I gotta create some room. And until I get rid of, I've got a whole mess load of old tattoo shop that I have got to get sold off. And tattooers aren't doing so well right now. So yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at. I've got a little bit of space that's kind of mine. And now that I am a stay-at-home person because seizures and back and everything like that, the uprightly disabled, maybe being home, I'll get a little bit more space. But until I get rid, my problem isn't space. I've got plenty of space. It's just full of my tattoo shop. I got a 40-foot shipping container full of tattoo shop. I got a spare room full of tattoo shop. And I've got to get it sold off. I got to get it out of my hair. I can't tattoo anymore. That part of my life is gone forever. 32-year career, and it gives me seizures to tattoo. So and I don't know if you know anything about seizures, but with me, every seizure could be my last. So we got a shit ton of framed artwork, just things, bottles of pigments. What is tattoo shop? Yeah, I owned a tattoo shop, Nakatosh Tattoo here in Natchitoches, Louisiana, for years, 13 years, almost to the day. 13 years, and tattooed other places before that, and just 13 years of the shop. I just accumulated a large collection of art, tattoo history, tattoo equipment, and I've always had, as an artist, I've got a collection of art supplies to where no matter what art I want to do, whether it be acrylic, watercolor, oil painting, sculpture, no matter what type of art I want to do, I've got all the supplies to do that. And instead of having that in my art studio / tattoo studio, it's all now here in my house. So I gotta cull the herd. And it's, yeah. And I'm still going to keep art supplies because I still do art commission pieces and things like that, and some design work for a few people. But yeah. And the more room that I get rid of some of these old tattoo stuff, more room I can fill up with toy collection. My wife can finally kick me into one of the back rooms instead of out here in where my desk is at, as a makeshift YouTube studio. And then she can just kick me into the back room instead of having me take over the living room. So, but yeah, there's that. It'll happen. That tax season's coming, and that's always a busy time for tattooers. And hopefully they'll get right. We'll see. This economy sucks. So, hey, that's the way it works. That George Carlin says that when you buy a house to fill with stuff, and when you fill up that house with stuff, you get another place, put more stuff. No, I'm pretty. I come from a line of antique dealers, so I have a lot of stuff, antiques as well as toys. I've got a large collection of oddities and a little bit of everything. So, uh, I'm definitely going to be. I'm also 50 years old now. I'll be 51 in about 4 months. So it's time to take it down a little bit. And given some of the stuff that's happened here in the last couple months, maybe packing it all up and moving anyway. So, but again, that's not Christmas Day news. That's maybe I'll bitch about that next Thursday. So I don't want to fill up. I've actually gone down quite a bit on what I collect. Some of the toy companies that I collect, like Thousand Toys, they don't produce much anymore, so it's not a big deal on that. I've gotten out of. I don't do anything. I've kind of cut out a lot of Marvel Legends, except for some of the bad guys. GI Joe is the only thing that I've been consistent. I have a complete collection of, except for a Ghost Viper. Somebody out there send me a fucking Ghost Viper already. I know you got an extra one. Just send me one. Because every time Walmart says, "Hey, it's back in stock," it's some third-party seller wanting $120 for it. So just somebody send me one. Take pity on the man with the fez. Be like, yeah, that idiot needs a Ghost Viper. I don't even need the box. um, but I'm down to the only collection that I am going to be completionist on is my GI Joe classified. Other than that, I'll just pick up one or two things that I like here and there. Um, that's that's kind of where I'm at now. So the sold off all my Transformers with the exception of a few little, like I said, one shelf. But if it gets past one shelf, I'll sell something before I fill that spot again. So if it fills up more than that, here's a couple I can cull, refill it with something else. So, but once I sell off the tattoo equipment and old tattoo supplies, that's something that's never coming back. So I've got a few pieces of nostalgia with that, but refilling that space, nah. Stu, you have a great evening, and I am going to enjoy Santa Jaws tonight. Thanks for joining us. Should it make it to the 3 hour mark, or should we got 20 more minutes of shit to talk about, or should I go ahead and wrap it up for the night? I will patiently await your answer. Listen, one thing, everybody do this for me tonight. Hit that like button. Um, hit that like button. Hit that dislike button. I don't care. Um, just hit one of those buttons. Do that for me. Um, it doesn't mean a lot, but it means enough to where I can possibly keep doing this into 2026 because that decision is coming up very quickly. And you'll float too, you'll float too, you'll float too. Yeah. Cooter, I'm always glad to have you, bud. Um, the decision on whether or not I do this on a regular basis is fast approaching. Um, ante and back up for the service that I use to stream all this um, is approaching soon. And I don't know if I'm going to continue it. So if you want me to continue it, then make it known. Just like I said, hit a like button, leave a comment, do both. Um, if you genuinely like hanging out, then subscribe. If you fucking hate me and you just want to hate watch me, go ahead, subscribe. It's okay. I won't tell. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish everybody a wonderful night and I hope you had a wonderful day, and I hope I could at least help you for the last 2 3/4 hours avoid your family responsibilities and give you a place to just kick it. Hope I've provided some good entertainment, and I hope to see you into the coming year. So I will end this night the way I always end, with a quotation from Collins Jim Dictionary of Quotation. And let's slide in one of the early ones. Let's see what we got. Oh, that was in France. Um, Oh, let's see. All right. Where have ye be hunting, Lord Randall, my son? Where have ye be hunting, my handsome young man? My yon wild wood, O mither, so make my bed soon, for I am weary wi' hunting, and fain wad lie down. Lord Randall. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Festivus, Happy Solstice, Happy Yule, whatever the fuck makes you happy. Go out, do it, and message somebody you love today. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week, maybe.